Hey, and welcome to learning activity number 8. There are 3 main components to this learning activity. The first of which is exploring web pages, things that are beneficial in terms of teaching science and allowing you to connect to other content areas. As always, there's a checklist. There are specific items and then a connection to your semester-long project. As we go down through here, I'm trying to do something a little different for Learning Activity 8. I don't necessarily want you to create additional lesson plans. I think you understand how to do that as a classroom teacher. So what I have, we have an option 1 where you're reviewing 4 websites from what I have included below, or option 2 where you're reviewing 2 of those websites and then you're creating almost a partial lesson. Something that allows you to discuss how different content areas can fit in. Either of these are perfectly acceptable options. The key for me is having you explore additional resources that you can use in your classroom. So as we go into part 1, it talks about the different websites that you can look through. The first one is Globe, and what I have next to this is a content area that you need to address in addition to science. So all of these are science-based, and we know that I can find science in just about anything. So what I'm challenging you to do is, in this particular website, I want you to find the math. I will say that this is a really good one for weather. There are a lot of them that are good for weather, but this is excellent at bringing in math as well. And then you notice Zooniverse is listed twice. There's an odd number there too, though, so that's weird. But Zooniverse, for this first one, I want you to look at integrating social studies. And once you go into the projects and see what's there, I think you're going to get excited. There's a lot of really cool opportunities to get your kids engaged, and that's what these 2 activities are about. And then for number 4, Zooniverse is looking into how you integrate language arts. I think these are going to become obvious once you start exploring the pages. A third web page that you're going to have to look at is called space.jpl.nasa, and this is a solar system simulator. You can actually look at the planets, the solar system, all sorts of really cool different things from different areas and different sizes and different days. So it allows you to bring in a lot of really interesting technology. But what I want you to focus on when you look at this is focus on how to use math. What math can you pull from that site? And I will give a hint and say every single time you pull up a picture, it shows you the distance from the planet that you're looking at it from. So that could be an interesting way of putting in some math components. Just thinking. Then we have citizen science, and this is a toolkit. For this one, you can integrate either ELA or math, so either or. And this is Annenberg Learner Journey North. This is another one that's really kind of cool. You can pull in social studies and math. It looks at the monarch migration specifically on this one. So choose 2 websites, and if you're doing option B or option 2, 2 websites and a partial lesson plan, or 4 websites. So it's up to you. There should be about 750 to 1250 words with the notes and so forth. So once again, your options to look through. And what I'm looking for in terms of discussions. So if you're a traditional group, post your notes and thoughts and use these for instruction directly to the discussion board, and then respond to 2 different people. Hangout groups, talk to each other, post the notes. And one thing that I have in here, each of these websites, I've tried to go through and give you an introduction to what that site looks like and how you can explore it and how you can access things within it. So you might want to try that out as well. One other thing that you're going to work on for LA8, and most of you, I think, are pretty close to being finished with this, but your e-learning module needs to be completed and turned in. All of this information here is exactly the same information that you saw in LA4. This is just to remind you where things are and how to add information to it. Make sure that you add your name and a folder for you to include all of your information in. and that this e-learning module be turned in by the end of this learning activity. So we will also look down here at things to turn in, exploring your websites, the e-learning module. Now, this is something you've gone through all of the theories, you know what they are, you've explored them. Now I want you to think about your semester-long project. And I want you to think through the theories that you've read about and give me a one-page narrative that explains how your semester-long project connects to at least one of those theories that you've explored. You've had an opportunity to do additional research on 3 specific ones that you chose. So think about how this connects to the bigger picture. What does your semester-long project look like in terms of what other people have seen, and how do you make sense of that? So this narrative, about a page, gets turned into a Dropbox, and this is also something that you'll be able to include on your semester-long project webpage. So hopefully that this helps line up some of the things in learning activity number 8. And if you have additional questions, please let me know.